Weeksville Heritage Center represents a history that was completely erased from the books. It's a really important history for people to recall because it speaks so much to contemporary issues of social justice, of standing up for yourself, of self-determination. Weeksville is a historic free black community that was started just 11 years after slavery was abolished in New York State in 1838. It's a missing piece in American history to talk about post-emancipation societies. Weeksville was rediscovered in the 1960s. The struggle to restore the houses and keep them standing and uncover the history has been a 40-year battle. Soon after they discovered the houses, they learned that they were going to be torn down along with many properties in this area as part of the urban renewal effort in New York City. And the community was outraged and rallied around trying to save the houses and stop the demolition. They were permitted to do an archaeological excavation. And directly across the street from the original archaeology site is PS 243, which is a grade school. And so as kids were looking out the window, they wanted to know what was going on. So a lot of the teachers and the students got involved in the archaeological excavation, along with everyday citizens, along with historians, amateur historians, along with artists, educators, activists, people who actually became activists through this effort. So a year later, these houses were designated as a New York City landmark.
Residents of Weeksville were really sustainable in their environmental practices and how they lived harmoniously with their land. We have very strong evidence of residents doing home preservation and canning of different kinds of produce that they grew in their gardens.
The family that lived here were called the Williams. Mrs. Williams was very much into canning and preserving. So she would store her canning and preserves in the root cellar.
We have a goal of building a public canning program where people would receive tools and education and training on how to preserve foods from farmers markets, foods that they grow themselves, so they can have fresh peaches in wintertime.
Weeksville is participating in Partners in Preservation now to meet a very specific preservation need, which is restoring our root cellar. It allows us to bring back to life Weeksville and Brooklyn's agricultural past. The buildings are important and the physical spaces are important, but also, and maybe more important, are the narratives that exist in these buildings. Weeksville and groups like Weeksville are working really hard to try to make those stories relevant for our audiences.